All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are live, and it is qualifying already. And we are right into qualifying. There was no practice because it was a new lobby being set up here. We're going to go a little bit more in detail into the sponsors a little bit later tonight. But for the sake of it is qualifying here, we're just going to quickly go through them. We want to thank all of them on the racing side of things. General sponsor here for tonight's race, Leo's Coney Island out of Rochester Hills. And pull it up there. It is Global Building Contracts, another general sponsor here for tonight. And of course, the presenting sponsor here is Iracing Drivers World. This is the RACECORE Iracing Drivers World Racing Series. On the racing side of things, of course, or on the broadcast side of things, we can't leave out Walls Beard Co., Sim Speed Shop, Northwest Racing Series, Ohio IndyCar League, iBog, and your post-race show will be presented by Randy's Wraps here later on tonight. But we're going to go ahead and pull up your driver bars. Again, qualifying is underway. And right now we are going to switch over to, well, there Mikey Neal, as it automatically went to him. So we're going to get all our camera stuff set up here. As again, it's just auto going for us here. But you're watching Mikey Neal in the number 8. We do have a little bit of information to go over here. We will go over that here in just a few moments. Actually, we'll go ahead and pull it up as we do have it here. Tonight's EOLs will be the 23 of Ryan Hesgard, the 70 of Sam Crow, the 15 of Spencer Tart, the 83 of Alex Huffman, and the 63 of Charles Hoffman. Those will be your EOL for tonight's race. Whether you're joining us here on the YouTube side of things or on Facebook here tonight, as from now on we will be streaming all events to the VRN Facebook page or to any other page, depending on how that works out. But we will at least be on YouTube and the VRN Facebook page as times are starting to come in here for tonight. Dan Butler with a 42.762 or 764, sorry, at your top time right now. Justin Starr in second, right behind him with a 43.040. As we're actually going to get in just a little bit closer here so you can get a good shot of these cars, as it is looking good. A really cold night here, as it is cloudy, so this track will not be getting very hot. We should see a lot of grip. That being said, we have seen some drivers spin out here during the practice session when we were in the other lobby, so we'll be looking for that tonight to see just how these cars handle. It's something we are going to have to pay attention to. Right now, Jim Locking out on the track in that number 91 machine as well. Once a few more times come in, we will put your top 20 up on the board. We got about 23 drivers here for tonight's race. Should be a fantastic one. Again, we thank everybody for tuning in, whether you're on Facebook or on YouTube here tonight. Mikey Neal in that number 8 Budweiser machine. He ain't old enough to drink, but he can sure put it in victory lane here tonight, possibly. He is the fastest here in practice and qualifying. We'll see just what kind of times he can do. Is a big wreck going on behind them. This is open qualifying, and they are piling up, and that is going to hurt their qualifying. But again, they had 10 minutes. We got in here as quickly as we could with about 4.5 minutes to go, so we are not going to get to cover all of this because we still have to get to our national anthem. Brian Jones takes out the green cone in that number 45 Jalopnik machine, and he will put it to second with a 42.214. We'll go ahead and pull up your qualifying times here, as those are your top 20 qualifying times here for tonight's race. As you can see, only about 8 drivers have put in times, so we're going to switch over here to Mike Rigney, who has not put in a time just yet. As there he does, jumps to second with a 42.195. Mikey Neal still on top by .141. So we'll see if he can hold on to that pole. Brian Jones third, Roger Muth fourth, and William Edwards is currently in fifth. Again, that is Bill for the race here, as he does go by Bill Edwards. So that's what we'll be calling him here for tonight's race. We'll see who all shows up here. Wow, we can't get it right. Justin Spear, 9th place right now. Jim Locking in 11th, as we have people switching there. Scotty Zerk going to take 5th with a 42.307 just now. at a very fast time for himself. We got 3 minutes left on the clock here before we go racing. Jamir Muhammad, I know we had some fans of his out in chat last week. Second place with a 42:017.033 behind Mikey Neal right now. And we'll see Ryan Hesgard sitting on pit road. He is one of them with an EOL here. Chris Brown, however, is not. He's out on the track in the number 1 machine. We'll see Tony Rice fixing to come out onto the track as well. We'll see if he does make it out. But again, this is open qualifying. They have 10 minutes to get out there and put some laps in. And it looks like Cole Day is going to run 43 flat to put himself in 15th. We'll see Chris Brown about to put in his first lap here. We'll check in with that one. Tony Wright's coming out onto the track as well. We finally got his picture in there, figured out what was going on. But we do have the 64 of Tony Rice coming out onto the track as Chris Brown, again on the backstretch, should be putting in his first time here very shortly. Roger Muth currently sitting in fourth place now with a 42:191. He just ran that on his last lap. A lot of good times starting to come in here. It looks like that may be doing here. John Van Verel is going to be coming out on the track as well. And that number 87 Krispy Kreme Chevrolet Impala. We'll see what kind of times he can put in as well. But actually we won't. We'll let you know where everybody starts. We're going to step away here to the national anthem. So give us just a minute and we will be right back here in just a few moments. After your national anthem, we'll find out exactly where everyone's starting here with the Walls Beard Co. starting grid.
We take you down onto the track for our opening ceremonies.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. Please remove your hats.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
All right, as you can see, qualifying is officially over. Since it is open qualifying, they have another 30 seconds to get out there and finish up their lap they were on. Again, if they start, wouldn't matter, but they do have time to finish up the lap they're on, as we are just kind of scenic mode right here, just kind of floating around. Again, we want to thank everybody for showing up tonight for tonight's race, whether you are on the Facebook side of things. I know you're watching it in 720. We also have the YouTube side of things for the really high quality 1080p over there. So whether you are on Facebook or YouTube, thank you for tuning in here for tonight's races. There it is. We are getting ready here for the race as we're going to jump down there. Mikey Neal again on pole here for the race, and he is on the track. So we're going to go ahead and drop down here for, actually we'll switch our camera there to your Walls Beard Co. starting grid here for tonight's race. Row 1 is going to be 2 of the most dominant drivers here in the RACECORE, in my opinion anyway. That is going to be the 8 of Mikey Neal and the 14 of Jamir Muhammad. Row 2 is going to be the 1 of Chris Brown and the 30 of Mike Rigney. Row 3 is going to be the 39 of Roger Muth and the 45 of Brian Jones. Row 4 is going to be the 22 of Jeff Pogo and the 12 of James Morgan. Row 5 is going to be the 75 of Bill Edwards and the 37 of Cole Day. Row 6 is going to be the 78 of Scotty Zerk and the 87 of John Van Varelis. Row 7 is going to be the 38 of Cody Levitt and the 99 of Justin Starr. Row 8 is going to be the 9 of Brian Dorsey and the 21 of Dan Butler. Row 9 is going to be the 77 of Justin Spear and the 91 of Jim Locking. Row 10 is going to be the 64 of Tony Rice and the 15 of Spencer Tart. Row 11 is going to be the 76 of Reese Milton and the 83 of Alex Huffman. Row 12 is going to be the 23 of Ryan Hesgard and Ray Moss. Not sure what his number is here. We just saw that it's the 42 of Ray Moss. Row 13 is going to be the 6 of Matthew Ellis and the 70 of Sam Crow. Row 14 and rounding out your field here tonight is going to be the 63 of Charles Hoffman. Again, that was your Walls Beard Co. starting grid here for tonight's race as they are about to be pacing. There it is around this track. We'll see who will come out victorious here tonight. Again, this is race number 2 of an 18-week series, so this could get very interesting to see, as it is going to have 2 of what, again, in my opinion, is your probably most dominant drivers starting on row 1. That is Mikey Neal in the 8 and the 14 of Jameer Muhammad. 2 very, very fast, very competitive drivers on row 1. This should be a really good drag race to the line to see who leads lap number 1. Again, regardless whether you're on Facebook or YouTube, definitely have something to snack on, something to drink, because you're in for a treat here for tonight's race. Unfortunately, we do not have Jeff here in the booth with us tonight, so it is just going to be myself. So if Jameer gets here, we may see if we can scramble and find him here for the Jeff and Jameer show. But unfortunately, he is not able to be with us here. Unfortunate, but he's got some stuff he has to take care of. But there it is. Green flag is out. We are racing here for the first time at Auto Club Speedway. We'll see. It looks like Mikey Neal's going to get a pretty good jump there. Again, these cars take a little bit to get going compared to their newer cars, which is the Xfinity and Cup, as these are the old NASCARs. They are the K&N cars. And right now, it is Jameer at second place right now, and they are jockeying for position a ton. Chris Brown all over the back bumper of Jameer, but he's going to lose a little bit here. And we're going to do our best to cover all of the racing action here tonight. Actually, let's zoom in just a little bit here. As you got a look there, you got some really nice paint jobs we're admiring here with that 14 of Jameer Muhammad. But just behind these guys, 3 wide for about 5th place going on, and they're going to settle it out here as they got some really good battling going on. Jeff Pogo in the mix here in that number 22. Looks like he's going to get by the 12 of James Morgan, but here comes the 45 of Brian Jones trying to get into the mix as well. Just a overall ton of racing going on here. One thing we did establish early on, they have got to be very, very careful on this track. As you see them right there, how packed this track is. It looks like you can take them 4, almost 5 wide. You can't. 2, maybe 3 wide if you're lucky. You've got to be very careful on this track. It can be very deceiving as to whether you can actually go as wide as you want. There's a little bit of a contact there maybe between the 12 and the 45 of Brian Jones and James Morgan, but they sorted out here. Let's go a little further back and watch this battle going on back here. Mike Rigney just on the outside looking here for Scotty Zerk and Brian Dorsey. They're trying to sort it out here a little bit. We still got a good battle going on in front of them, though, between Brian Jones, James Morgan, Jeff Pogo, and even Bill Edwards getting into the mix. We're on lap 3 of 75. I know originally it was a 100-lap race. That is what we have on the thing down there if you're looking. However, this is a 75-lap race. They did cut those laps down just a little bit, as 100 was more than they wanted to do. So that is why that happened. So you're watching some pretty good racing here overall, as these guys are still trying to take it 2 and 3 wide. Roger Muth just on the outside of the top 3 right now. Chris Brown has it, and Chris Brown still all over the back bumper of Jamir Muhammad, who's in second place, as Mikey Neal is checked out right now to a .483 second lead. So we are keeping a close eye on all of this action here for tonight to see just how they do. It looks like they may be catching here up to Mikey Neal. We'll see. .483 still. It has gone up to .5 at sometimes. Now it's close to it again. But Mikey Neal has a lot of practice here. So does Jamir Muhammad. These two have put in a lot of time practicing this track. And here goes Chris Brown to the inside. Is he going to make a pass here for second place? We'll see. No, Jamir shuts the door. And one thing, too, is you just saw the one of Chris Brown get on that apron down there, on that below that white line. You do not want to do that. Getting below that yellow line is a bad idea. It will really get you loose, and you can easily spin it out here. As you see what's going to happen now, Roger Muth is going to take third place from him because of that little bobble. You do not want to get below the line there. As the 63's name is not showing up, we do apologize for that. But we're going to go back here a little ways while those guys are sorting it out. We will keep an eye on your top 3 to let you know how that battle is going right now. About 4/10 of a second separating first and second, and 9/10 between first and third. So we're keeping an eye on that. We got a good battle going in here between the 38 and the 87 of John Van Varelis and Cody Levitt, as those two are battling for 10th position right now. So we are going to keep a very close eye on those drivers here tonight. And we'll also have the ability to show your top 10 no matter where we're at on the track right now, as you're looking this battle right here going on for about 15th position. Justin Starr battling up on the high side. You have 3 distinct grooves here, top, middle, and bottoms. You got the 15 of Spencer Tart on the bottom. Then you have Jim Locking in that 91 middle. Justin Starr going up to the top here. And we'll take a look here. You even have Ryan Hesgard trying to take it 4 wide. That did not work out. He thought better of that and had to just decide to stay back there just a little bit. He's going to take to the bottom. He's going to make it 3 wide here, going into the corner, going to the back stretch. He will try to get by the 99 of Justin Starr here and the 91 of Jim Locking. He'll pass Jim Locking for 18th position. While we're watching that here, we got to go back up to the front. That gap has started to shrink from 0.5 to 0.333 here for your front 2. Will Jamir Muhammad in that 14 be able to run down Mikey Neal? So far, it looks like he's definitely catching him. Passing may be another story, as we are now 8 laps in. I expect probably in the next 2 to 3 laps, these tires will be pretty much shot. So they're going to have to make passes very quickly if they want to make something happen. That being said, I'm thinking fuel-wise here, and we'll see if we get a chance to talk to a driver. Somewhere in the 22 to 25 range is where they'll be coming in. We'll be paying attention for that. So that is something we have to watch out for. Roger Muth and Chris Brown still battling for 3rd position. It looks like Chris Brown has pretty much recovered from that little incident he had where he bobbled there. As we're going to zoom out here to camera 2 so you can get a better view. That's right now your top 4. Look at the gap they have over the 5th place of Brian Jones right there. A fairly good sized gap for the most part. Then you right there have 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th battling on, but really to James Morgan you have another little gap. So not a whole lot of battling going on right now on the track for the top 10, I would even say, as Cody Levitt is technically your 10th place car, and he's got Brian Dorsey all over his back bumper in that number 9 machine. It looks like Dorsey's going to take it to the high side. Will he be able to get by him? Not at the line. It's going to be the 38 of Cody Levitt. So we're keeping an eye on that battle as well. Just a few back here to Alex Huffman in that 83 machine. Let's pull that information up for you real fast. Started 22nd. He's up to 13th place right now. He had an EOL, and he has made the best of it here. 22nd to 13th here in tonight's race so far. So good job for him running down the 87 of John Van Varelis. Well, definitely, I know we got a lot of Jameer fans in here tonight. We got some Mikey fans out there as well. Looks like the two dominant drivers have a huge amount of fan support out there here tonight. We want to thank everyone. I know we got a lot of drivers out there. And to answer the question there for Paul, we just saw that over on the Facebook side of things. This is RACECORE Online Racing League. This is their K&N series, the second week they've been doing this one, and they have another 16 weeks after this. So if you're looking to get into it, Paul, you could look up RACECORE Online Racing League or just RACECORE in the leagues, and I'm sure with a driver of your skill, they would definitely take you in. So that is the name of the league. Out front here, we're going to look. Mikey Neal has pulled another about 2/10 over Jameer Muhammad to .683, now .716. So the older these tires get, Mikey Neal is starting to pull away here. Meanwhile, it looks like Chris Brown and Roger Muth have both caught up to Jameer Muhammad. And Jameer may have some company here in a minute, as I have a feeling that one of Chris Brown is going to try to take it to the inside here shortly and see if he can't do something with second place, but he kind of falls off there just a little bit. So we're watching this. Again, this was originally a 100 lap race. It is now a 75 lap race, so 25 laps were cut from the race. Race control and the admins decided that was just a bit too much, so they cut it back. Again, these cars are a little bit slower here than the Xfinity or trucks, so they did decide to cut that down time-wise so they could fit it in and have a good amount of racing, but still have plenty of time to keep it in with the time restraints. We're going to go back here just a little bit to Charles Hoffman, as I'll take a quick look and remind you of who our EOLs here for the night. Charles Hoffman was one of those EOL drivers, as we will pull his information up here and zoom in just a little bit on him. He started 27th. He's up to 24th. He hasn't made a whole lot of progress, but still progress here tonight, as he has again moved from 27th to 24th. So he is working his way through in that Wonder Bread number 63 machine. Got the VRN logo on there. Cool to obviously see that. We'll go through the list here. Alex Huffman in the 83 was one of our other ones, as we'll try to find him real quick. Again, they're all mixed in here together. There he is. He is in 12th position, so he has gained 10 positions since the start of this race. So from 22nd to 12th. Spencer Tart was another one of ours that started back there, as we'll find him. He's in 15th, so now 16th, as he's going to lose the spot to Scotty Zerk. He started 20th up to 16th, so gained 4 to 5 positions, depending on where he was at the time. He had up to gain 5, but has lost that to gain 4 positions. Sam Crow, we'll take a look and see where he is at right now. He is in 20th. He started 26th, so he has gained some spots in that number 70 machine. So he has gained, again, 6 spots here since the start of the race. And, of course, your last EOL that started this race was Ryan Hesgard. He is in 19th place right now, started 23rd, so he has also gained quite a few spots since the start of the race. Again, these were your EOL drivers since the start. And we're going to go back up to the front here, as Mikey and Neal has still, once again, pulled a little bit of a lead, .899, going to be probably 9 at the line. As we will see, Chris Brown does get by Jameer Muhammad. We knew it was coming. That's why we didn't hang around there too much. Jameer Muhammad, a very fast driver, but just not handling, the car's just not handling probably the way he wants it to right now. It seems like he is really good on the short runs compared to the longer run, but don't count him out yet. I haven't, and you shouldn't either, because you never know what can happen with Jameer. He could very well just be saving those tires here for the later runs, trying to see how much he can conserve. Maybe he conserve an extra lap of gas. Something is going with the Jamir Muhammad. I don't think it's just that he can't drive the car or anything like that. It's definitely that he has a strategy, and we'll wait to see what it is later. Roger Muth currently in 4th, Jeff Pogo in 5th, and while we're going back here a little ways to try to find some racing action, we're going to find some back here with Jim Locking, and it looks like the 78 of Scotty Zerk are battling. Let's go ahead and pull this up on your top left of the screen. Those are your top 10 drivers, so we will know who passes where. If anybody's battling real close, we'll be able to keep an eye on that. So while that's up there, we can hang around closer to the back here and keep an eye on these guys, as we still have some good battling going on here. We got Ryan Hesgard in the 23 and the 63 of Charles Hoffman, as it looks like we got the 42 of Ray Moss. Haven't talked about him a whole lot here tonight, but he is right there in 21st spot, and he's going to try to take it 3 wide here for about 19th. If he can get by both of these guys, we'll see, can he do it? They go 3 wide for a split second, and here comes the 42 shot out of a cannon to take 19th place from Ryan Hesgard and Charles Hoffman. So what a move here. Here comes the 23 of Ryan Hesgard, though. He's going to try to make a slingshot move here and get back by him at the line. It's going to be the 42 of Ray Moss, so that does take that position. But let's go ahead and get rid of that here and go back up to the front. Not much has changed here, as they are just flying around this track, kind of in cruise control mode at the moment. And again, just not a whole lot going on. Right back here, probably one of your closest battles. That is between the 22 of Jeff Pogo, the 75 of Bill Edwards, and the 12 of James Morgan. That is for 5th position. Again, that is probably the closest battle on this track right now for the highest position anyway. There are some battles going on, but this is probably the highest one. And we've seen a lot so far here. While we have not seen any cautions or lead changes with 56 laps to go, what we have seen is a lot of crossover moves. You know, you typically think of that being in dirt there, and what is happening here is it looks like the 83 of Alex Huffman is going to take the 8th spot from Brian Jones, and now Cody Levitt's going to get by as well. We'll see, can these guys get back around? But what we're seeing is they get around, they tuck back in behind them, take to the inside, and slingshot back behind them off of that momentum. So we have seen spots traded 2 or 3 times before someone finally actually takes the position and runs away with it. So a lot of position changes going on. While they're not up for the lead, they are still changing position. Yeah, there you go. That's we'll start a chopping up the tree donation fund for Mike Neal. Yeah, I've heard it. You said last race it was like a war zone in your front yard with all the trees down. That is definitely not good. Hopefully everything else is still standing other than the trees, and that is the worst case scenario for you. We do definitely hope everything gets back to normal soon. And right now, speaking of normal here, I think Mikey Neal's fitting pretty normal and pretty comfortable up in the lead with a second lead, over a second, 1.1, now 1.099 second lead over Chris Brown, who is running in second. That is the highest he has been here in this series so far. Jamir Muhammad sitting in 3rd place. As we'll go ahead and take a look, that is your top 5 right now after 21 laps completed. As there goes Jamir, going to get back by. As here comes now 23 laps in, they're coming down pit road. We expected 23 to 25 laps, and that is exactly what is happening. Jamir and Mikey able to stay out one more lap. Hopefully they don't run out of fuel. But we have a ton of drivers coming down pit road. Chris Brown coming down. We'll see Roger Muth, Jeff Pogo, Cody Levitt, Cole Day. Caution comes out. What a change of events here. And it's going to be Spencer Tart going around. Let's go back and take a look. Definitely a change of events here, folks. This is not what we expected here. We had our regular pit stops happening. We had a ton of drivers on pit road. Some of them did go a lap down, Chris Brown being one of them, but he has completed his pit stop. What happened here to the 15 of Spencer Tart? And contact was made between him and the 6. And I believe that is Matthew Ellis. Contact was made between those two. Let's go back and take another quick look at this here, as we're going to go to the 6 of Matthew Ellis, who's involved there, and we're going to go to his roll bar cameras. We will go on board again with the 6 of Matthew Ellis. You'll see the 15 of Spencer Tart coming to the picture right there. He is going to come up here, and something happened. They just got together. I'm not sure exactly what happened, but we're about to find out. Looks like the 15 gets a run. Maybe he tries to slide up. That angle's hard to tell, but either way, the 15 goes into the wall, bringing out the caution involving him and the 6 of Matthew Ellis. As we will go back to live. Everybody else coming down pit road. Mikey Neal leading them. We'll see how this one goes. As we are under caution, we are going to watch very closely here to see what happens, if any mistakes are made. And as soon as pit stops are just about completed, we may step away here for a quick commercial break. And what a battle it has been so far. Mikey Neal has led every lap, all 24 laps here so far. And we'll see, those are your front two, the ones we really want to watch. So far, so good. Doesn't look like we see any mistakes up there. We're going to also check in with Jamir Muhammad. No mistakes there. Who will come out of pit road first is the question. We'll see. It looks like everybody going to take 4 tires and fuel, and they will come in the way they go out. As Cody Levitt is technically your race leader, and he will lead his first lap here in just a few moments. We are going to step away here to a quick commercial break, and we will be right back here in just a few moments. All right, we are back, ladies and gentlemen. The lights are still on the pace car. Again, we want to thank everybody for tuning in here tonight, whether you're on Facebook or on YouTube. We appreciate everyone tuning in here tonight. Glad you are all here. As always, hit that thumbs up button, whether you're on either one of them. And if you haven't before, hit the subscribe button and the little bell to be notified of all upcoming events here on YouTube. And you can like the page over on the Facebook side of things, so definitely like that. You'll be notified of upcoming events as well. While we have just a minute here, we want to go over once again our sponsors here for tonight's race. Global Building Contractors here is a general sponsor for tonight's race, and Leo's Coney Island out of Rochester Hills, another general sponsor here for tonight's race. And of course, iRacing Drivers World, your presenting sponsor here for this series. This is the RACECORE iRacing Drivers World iRacing Series. And on the broadcast side of things, a big shout out to Walls Beard Co., Sim Speed Shop, Northwest Racing Series, Ohio IndyCar League, iBog, and Randy's Wraps here for your post-race show. Lights are off. We're fixing to go racing this time by. Again, we hope everybody's enjoying the broadcast here tonight. We are at Auto Club Speedway for 75 laps. Not sure exactly how many miles that is. 2-mile track, so over 100 miles is what we're running. It was 100 laps, and we were running 200 miles, so you do the math on that. We're going to do that here tonight. But right now, we are going racing this time by. It seems like a good time. Hopefully you all like it out there on the fan side of things. Seems like a good time here, as that's our first caution to go a little crank it up style here on VRN. So we'll do that, and we will be right back here in just a few laps after some crank it up here on VRN. All right, we are back, ladies and gentlemen, as Jameer Muhammad is your new race leader during all of that. Mikey Neal in second, Chris Brown third. Those older tires, 5 laps versus 7 laps, already causing some problems here for the one, as he is just not able to stay out front. He did indeed lead 4 laps, but just unable to make anything else happen here, as they got by him pretty quick. And that is the 83 of Alex Huffman. I know his name is not showing up in the overlays. We do apologize. Typically, it's a little glitch where if they don't run any practice laps, their name doesn't show up. So I know there's a few out there, but that is who that is. That is the 83 of Alex Huffman. He has led, I believe, a few laps here. No, he hasn't. He came close, just hasn't quite done it. But Jameer Muhammad so far has, and this has kind of changed. This caution definitely changed things up, as it was all about Mikey Neal. Now you have Jameer Muhammad led 2 laps, fixing to be his 3rd lap led, and I didn't realize his name was one of them not showing up here. We may have to reset these overlays if we get a chance. It is indeed one of them, so give us just a minute here. We're going to reset these overlays, and we will be right back. We'll keep talking here, but we're going to reset them as Jameer Muhammad leads this race. We just have to reset these very quickly so that his name will show up, since he has completed a lap now. And there it goes right there. We'll pull back up your top 3 as Jameer Muhammad is your race leader and doing a good job so far. He has led now 3 laps. You're going to be 4 here coming up. Chris Brown led 4. Jameer Muhammad on his 4th. Mikey Neal's at 24 laps, so he wants to get back up there to the front if he can. This is right now not happening. He is sitting in 2nd place, so we'll see. Can he get back up there and make something happen? As we're going to go back here just a bit. Look at the crowd going on back here. Ray Moss leading this group here. Matthew Ellis, John Van Russ, Bill Edwards, Justin Starr, even Sam Crow getting into the mix. They have a ton of drivers back here battling right now. That's anywhere from 7th place all the way to 12th place. That is a really big group of cars. You go a little bit further back here, you have Cody Levitt, Ryan Hesgard in this mix. And the rookie here tonight, we haven't talked about him a whole lot, as we'll zoom in on him real quick. That is the 37 of Cole Day. This is his first race ever with this league, and he is doing a pretty good job here in the top 20 here, fighting his way, as he has still got a good shot at getting up there to a top 10 at least, maybe even a top 5 or a win. You don't know. We'll have to wait and see if he can get up there, but doing a fantastic job here. He's got a little bit of damage for his first race here in this series and this league. But Ryan Hesgard, right now battling with Jim Locking, as somebody was in the wall there. I'm not sure who that was. That is the 70 of Sam Crow, hard into the outside wall. He recovers from it, and he is going to lose a ton of spots. Here's the 77 of Justin Spear. Going to be the only one that doesn't get by him, as he is 3 laps down. So going from about 15th place all the way back to 24th, as Reese Milton also behind him there, as he was unable to officially clear him. So we'll see a caution coming out early in that run. About lap 23 is when it came out, and that trapped a few guys on pit road. They were able to recover from it. Everybody still on the lead lap except for Justin Spear, and Spencer Tart is out of the race, 37 laps down. So he looks like thought he started the race here, but he is showing 37 laps down. I'm pretty sure he did start. We reset, something glitched there. But we are watching this battle up front here. That is Alex Huffman and Chris Brown. Again, Chris Brown has a few older laps on his tires, about 2 or 3 laps older tires. So far, I don't think it's hindering too bad. He's sitting in 3rd place. I definitely think older tires are maybe not a bad call. However, with Jameer Muhammad and Mikey Neal, I think you definitely need those fresh tires. Those two are extremely fast here tonight, and I don't think old tires are going to hold them off. That being said, new tires may not either. Those two are very quick, so we'll see. Alex Huffman is still trying to battle by Chris Brown, but just hasn't been able to complete the pass just yet. Brian Jones having a fantastic run. We'll check in on his start and finish so far. He's started 6th. He's currently in 5th. He has gained 1 position since the start of this race. Alex Huffman, I think, is our biggest gainer here in tonight's race. Started 22nd. He's up to 3rd right now, as he is going to officially take 3rd from Chris Brown. So I definitely think he is our biggest mover here in tonight's race. We'll go ahead and pull up our race progress here and make sure to confirm that, as now the one of Chris Brown is going to try to get back by him. We're watching these front 4, even 5 with Brian Jones in there. 18 spots gained for the 83 as a caution comes out once again. So let's go take a look, and it's going to be Reese Milton in the 76. Let's go back and take a quick look. What happened here to the 76 of Reese Milton to bring out the 2nd caution of the night? I know if we looked at our caution chart, it would say 1. That is due to the reset, but we have had our 2nd caution here. Wheel cautions, breed cautions, as we're trying to figure out exactly what happened. I know everyone's going to come down. Oh, gets up into, I'm not sure who that was, the 64 of Tony Rice. And that will bring out the caution as he brings the car to a stop. And we will go back to live. Jameer Muhammad going to be catching the pace car. I'm pretty sure everyone will come down pit road. We'll be keeping an eye on that, but we are going to step away here to a quick commercial break, and we will be right back. All right, we're back just in time for pit stops here. Looks like Dan Butler's going to stay out to lead a lap here. We'll see who's going to come out first to pit road. It looks like it's going to be Jamir Muhammad that comes out first, followed by Mikey and Neil. We'll go ahead and pull your top 10 drivers back up on the list here 1 second. As we'll go ahead and do that. There are your top 10 drivers as of this caution. Dan Butler, currently your race leader, but he has not pitted. He has several laps on those. It says 40. That is inaccurate, so that is because we had to reset the overlays there. But right now, Dan Butler being scored as your race leader, followed by Jamir Muhammad, Mikey Neal, Brian Jones, Chris Brown, Alex Huffman, Ray Moss, Bill Edwards, Brian Dorsey, and John Van Varellis. Those are your top 10 drivers as of the second caution of tonight. We'll see, will those cautions start stacking up? Is the 21 going to bring it down at pit road? He will stay to the right side, and he will come down and get some fresh tires. He did not lead a lap either. I figured he would stay out long enough to lead a lap, but he is coming in a bit earlier, and that lap will go to Jamir Muhammad to officially lead the lap. So as far as the top drivers go, a little bit has changed. Now Brian Jones being scored in third, then Chris Brown and Alex Huffman. So the top 5 have not changed. In the order that they are racing has changed, as Brian Jones sitting there at the moment in third. But again, your top 5 drivers have not changed in the drivers themselves, but in the position they are in, that has changed. So again, it takes about 1:42 to get around this track. So we are going to step away here one more time for a quick commercial break, and we will be right back.
Someone had to tumble and someone had to stand. Don't try to fight, there's nothing you can do, and I'm gonna run all over you. It's too late to try, there's nothing you can do, I'm gonna run all over you. I'm looking for new blood, and nothing's gonna stop me now.
Alright, we are back, and it is just about time for these guys to take the green flag one more time again. Looks like we got a lot of people in chat. Thanks for tuning in. Hopefully you've picked your driver here for tonight's race. I know we got Mikey Neal fans out there. We got some Jamir Muhammad fans. Let us know if you're here for a particular driver, or if you're just here for some great racing. As always, if you're a techie person and you have Discord, hit up the Discord link there, and you can join the Newegg one, as they are always having some games to play with. They can play with you, the fans, or just watch them play games, talk to them, have a good time, learn new stuff, meet great people, all of that good stuff. But again, it is time to go racing one more time. Everybody on the lead lap except for Justin Spear, 2 laps down, and Spencer Tart out of the race, 44 laps down. Green flag is back in the air, and a good start here for Jamir Muhammad as he takes to a really good start. And we are on lap 43 of 75 here for tonight's race. Again, looking at our cautions real quick, we've actually had 2 cautions, not 1, 4 laps of caution. That is it. 33 laps to go. We are over halfway done with this race. 2 lead changes with 3 different leaders. Mikey Mills led 24, Jamir Muhammad 14, and Chris Brown has led 4 laps. Those are the only 3 leaders here for tonight's race, and we're going to go back here just a little bit as the 83 of Alex Huffman is going to take it to the bottom and try to get out the 42 of Ray Moss, and he will complete the pass to the line, I think. That was very close, closest we have seen. And you go up just a little bit. You have Brian Jones trying to hang on. Ooh, and contact, no caution coming out. That was a little scary there. I thought we were about to have a caution, but we did not. I'm not even sure exactly what happened there as we saw the smoke from it. Is there 3 and 4 wide? We're going to take a look here, and right somewhere in here, it gets a little squirmy. But something going on. They're 4 wide over here going on. As again, that was a little scary there. There it is. You see Brian Jones completely sideways. I think he had some help from the 1 of Chris Brown. Watch this group. This is back here with Brian Jones. This is Alex Huffman leading this group. Oh, there goes the 45 sideways again. And they are just intensely going through these corners. Such close battling. I don't know how we have not seen a caution yet for this, but Brian Jones losing several spots as he's got damage now. That car is not handling the way he wants it to right now. Is there 3 wide contact between the 1 and the 45? That may have been a little bit of payback there, letting him know I do not appreciate what you did to me, as he gets down and gets into his door panel. And I would not be surprised if it was, as that was some really rough racing between those two. And he definitely got him to drop to the door panel, as the 45 of Brian Jones all the way back to 21st now has a ton of damage. And he had a car to potentially be in the top 3 here tonight. So did the 1 of Chris Brown. Both of them now having a ton of damage. And I have a feeling their shots at getting the win here tonight have probably gone out the window for both of them. Although the 1 of Chris Brown has quite a bit less damage, as we'll go back here to Brian Jones, who doesn't look too bad on one side, but that side of the car is totally destroyed right now, thanks to the contact between him and the 1. And it was not one time, it was multiple times out here on the track as those two made contact. But we're going to go up here just a little bit as Justin Starr trying to hang in there right now. We're keeping an eye on that lead too. Right now there's 0.5 separating them, so there is a little bit of a gap. Your top 3 really have kind of pulled away from the rest of this pack, so we're keeping a very close eye on your leaders here. But we are definitely watching this group back here as they're going 2 and 3 wide. 3 wide will not last forever. You do not want to do that. The older these tires get, the harder it's going to be to control the car here. We're keeping, again, a very, very close eye on things here as we're on lap 48 of 75. And they may try to make it 4 wide before it's all of a sudden caution is out. We got a car going around. Oh, he gets hit again. I'm not sure who that was. That looked like the 1 of Chris Brown going around. Let's go back and take a look. Let's go back and take a look and see what happened here. We know the 1 of Chris Brown was involved in this. I'm not sure if it originated back here, but definitely he was involved in it at some point. So we're going to take a look and see if that's where this all started. He gets below the apron. He spins it around. And let's go see if we can get a closer look there as he gets clobbered. And then they're almost getting into him was the 45 of Brian Jones. As we'll go back up to live here. He's coming down pit road. Jamir Muhammad still out on the track here. Let's see if we can get a hold of Brian Jones. Maybe get a quick word in with him and have a chat with him, see what is going on out there on the track, as I do see him with us. So give us... Well, I thought we had him in here with us, as I do not see him at the moment. Well, that's unfortunate we don't have him out here with us. We do have Chris Brown here. So give me just a minute, and we'll see if we can't get Chris Brown in here and take a chat with him. So give us just a minute, as we'll make sure he is not going down pit road. He's on pit road right now. So let's pull him up here and see if we can get a quick word. We'll be right back. All right, well, we are unable to get a hold of Chris Brown as he is not responding there. So we're going to go ahead and go back to the front here as Brian Jones is at your race leader. He has not come down pit road yet. So we'll see if he is going to come down or if he's going to stay out there. But again, we don't have a radio in line with him. So while we're at it, let's see. We don't have Jameer Muhammad in here to talk to him either. So we are going to pull the next best thing. We're going to pull Mikey Neal up to chat real fast. Mikey Neal, you got a copy?
I got a copy.
Well, we tried Brian Jones. We tried Jameer. We couldn't get any of them up here. We can't find them anywhere to be found. So you were sitting in third place. What is this track like here tonight? And do you have a strategy to try to get back by Jameer? We've seen pretty much, for all intents and purposes, this race has belonged to either you or him.
Yeah, it's just super bumpy, and you know, the apron in turn 1 and 2 is biting some people, so I've been kind of watching out for that. But you know, my whole plan here is just to make it to the end and get a top 5. But I have a really good long run car right now, so I'm hoping I can carry this long run speed into this last run here, and you know, I'm able to stay within Jameer around 6/10 each time. And, you know, I'm just hoping that once we hit around 15 laps, I can start reeling him back in. But he's super good on these short runs. And, you know, Jameer, he's definitely not going to give up this position easy. He's going to fight for it all he can. And even the first lap, you see him, he goes straight to the bottom of the track to cut off the draft. So he definitely knows this track well, and it's really hard to get around him. It's even hard to get up to people, period. So my whole strategy here is to see if I can get past Jameer with Brian Jones here starting on the pole this restart here. So it's going to be really difficult, but if I can get around Jameer, here and get over to Brian, I might have a chance.
Well, we got 25 laps to go, going to be about 23 when we actually take the green. So are these caution laps going to be enough that you can make it on fuel to the end of this race?
The first run I was making it around 25, and obviously, because we have a caution, we're saving a little bit. So as of right now, I think we can make it. It's going to be very close, but if there are no cautions, we should be able to make it.
We'll definitely be watching to see what happens. You missed all the good stuff back in the back. There was a little contact there between the 45 and the 1 as they were beating and banging there. I think some frustration may have come out further behind y'all. But so far, you've kept a clean car. Hopefully, it'll stay that way. And, you know, with any luck, we'll see you in the top 3 and possibly sitting in victory lane.
All right. Have a good one, Charles.
All right. You too. All right. That was the 8 of Mikey Neal. Again, we tried getting a hold of Jameer Muhammad as well as Brian Jones, neither one of which were here in radio communication with us. So we were unable to get a hold of them. But we did, of course, get Mikey Neal in there. So we will see the 45, 12 laps on his tires. Ton of damage on that car thanks to him and the 1 beating and banging. We won't say who's at fault there, but there definitely was some beating and banging between those two, and that has caused a ton of damage on his car. But we'll see. Lights are off. We are going racing again, this time here with about 23 laps to go. That is a fuel run, so we should be good till the end of this race on fuel. Again, this race was cut down from 100 laps to 75 because of time restraints. They don't want to go over a certain amount of time. They like to keep the actual racing within an hour or so. And we're right about there, 10 minutes of qualifying, so we're just about an hour. So hour, 15 minutes is definitely about right. So we'll see here. 75 laps is what they're running. We're on lap 52, fixing to be lap 53 of 75. Pace car dives off. We are getting ready to go racing this time. Just a few feet away. As there it is, green flag back in the air, and they stack up the field. There's a lot of cars back here. Those old tires definitely did not get going as well as the rest, or they just got to jump back in the back. Whatever the case may be, they really stack them up back here in the back, and that allows this front half to really take off. And we'll see Jameer Muhammad on the outside and Brian Jones on the inside, as well as Mikey Neal. Will Mikey Neal be able to use the 45 as a pick to get by? Not going to happen. Jameer Muhammad's going to get by as well. And here comes the 9 in the 83 of Brian Dorsey and Alex Huffman trying to get by. Those old tires are not playing into his favor right now. We kind of already knew that. Those tires were not going to play much good here. Those old tires are just no good after about 10 laps, and he had about 12 on him. Mikey Neal down to the apron. He's going to take it there. Again, that is probably the only spot you can do that. You do not want to get below that white line any further around this track. Right there at the front you can do it, but anywhere else not going to happen. As contact being made there between John Van Rellis and Charles Hoffman, but they all recover from it. Again, these are some fresh tires. This is when they're trying to make their moves. They have to do something now. Here comes Roger Muth in the 39 machine. He's going to get by the 63 of Charles Hoffman, and he will try to complete that pass. Ryan Hesgard, we'll take a look at his information here. Started 23rd up to 4th. This is the highest he's been all race long, and he is doing a fantastic job of hanging in there. It's looking like Brian Dorsey is going to get by the 45 as well. A ton of drivers doing a good job. Look at him going back here 3 wide. That's the 22 of Jeff Poger, the 12 of James Morgan, and Charles Hoffman in the 63. But back to the front we go. 0.366 seconds separate Jameer Muhammad and Mikey Neal. Again, your two most dominant drivers here in this race. Between the two of them, they have led 47 laps between the two of them out of the 54 completed. The only other leaders have been Brian Jones with 3 and Chris Brown with 4 laps led. Again, the only other leaders, the two that got together just a few laps ago. They were beating and banging. They both have led laps. Now it's 24-24 for Muhammad as the caution comes out. And taking a look here, I'm not sure who it is, as we'll take a look. It's going to be the 64 Tony Rice involved. Let's go back and take a look. Kamikaze, you ain't missed it all. We still have some good racing left to go. We are not done just yet here, and I'm not sure what happened here to the 64 of Tony Rice. He did slow down. I'm just not sure what happened. He's all by himself, so it looks like a single car spin. So we're trying to figure out exactly what happened here to bring out the caution. And looks like the 63 was involved, actually. So Charles Hoffman, so let's go back and take another look here and see what happened to Charles Hoffman first. He just slowed down to avoid it, so he was not technically involved in it. As we're watching the 63, and more contact looks like happening back here is what got this caution going here. And we're going to switch to our main camera here, as we'll see. I'm sure there was contact. There almost had to be. With this many cars in one place, doesn't look good. Oh, the 45 and the 63 getting together. The 45 goes around, and there is the 63 getting into him once again. So more contact, this time between the 45 of Brian Jones and the 63 of Charles Hoffman. As caution comes out once again. This is our third caution, or fourth caution. It says 3, but this is our fourth caution. For about 12 laps or so. That is not accurate. 19 laps to go. So while we're under caution here, I expect a few people to come down. Mikey Neal coming down pit road. Everybody behind him coming down. Jameer Muhammad may be a sitting duck here with 7 laps on those tires. We are going to step away and get to a quick commercial break real fast, and we will be right back.
am Thermal Take. Say command.
What is the weather like in LA?
The weather is clear in LA.
What is the weather like in New York?
The weather is rain in New York.
Use flow mode.
Low.
Say hello, TT.
Hello, TT.
We are back here, ladies and gentlemen, and no, not sponsored by Thermal Take, just the avid supporter of them. Just trying to do our part here to trying to get them all the business we can. Obviously, I use every part that I can in any of my computers or computers I build for Thermal Take. I will say this: there is some stuff in the works here. Not necessarily a sponsorship. Can't say too much about it, but there is some stuff in the works. We'll leave it at that. So we should be announcing that here soon. So definitely stay tuned for that. That will actually be on my personal page, not necessarily on here. So again, those videos are not anything sponsored wise, anything that just. We are avid supporter here at VRN and myself of Thermal Take and their great products. So we try to get them some business by putting their ads here during cautions. Speaking of cautions, a little bit has changed here. We got Jamir Muhammad, 9 laps on those tires. We've seen earlier old tires did not work. It was a bad strategy here for some people. That being said, Jamir is very good at saving tires. Will Jamir be able to use them old tires to an advantage? That could be answered here shortly as the lights go off on the pace car. For everyone else who's been up there, old tires weren't really the best call, I don't think. For Jamir, could be different. He's good at saving tires. We'll see Ryan Hesgard in second place, Brian Dorsey in third. Those drivers have been around the front top 10 all day, but have not been into the top 3 here until this caution. So we'll see if they can do it here. We're on lap 60 of 75, so we're going to have 15 laps to go when they come to the line. Mikey Neal currently in 4th place. Will those new tires prevail here for the rest of this field? Keep in note on that caution there, every single driver came down pit road except for Jamir Muhammad. Hopefully he'll be able to hold them off. We'll see for him anyway. If he doesn't, it could be bad here. We'll definitely have to wait and see. I think it was a good gamble to stay out front. However, he's been up front all night. He could have come in and I think would have done good. But as the racing scenario goes, everybody knows that whatever the leader does, everybody else is doing the opposite. So if he had come down, everybody else would have probably stayed out. So it doesn't matter really what he did anyway. They were going to do the opposite. So we're just having to wait and see, will those older tires be enough to hold off this hard charging field? As there goes the pace car diving back onto pit road. And there once again the green flag comes out. We're racing here at Auto Club Speedway, as it has been a great race so far. I expect it to end the same way it started, awesomely, as we now have 15 laps to go. Jamir Muhammad gets a huge jump on them old tires. Here comes the rest of the field, though. Will they be able to run him down here in 15 laps? Will those older tires come into play here and definitely prevail him to victory? I don't know, but we're going to find out. He's still out front right now, as Mikey Neal is going to get by Brian Dorsey pretty quick. Maybe he's battling with him. We'll see. He's up on the high side trying to take third place away from Brian Dorsey. That again is Brian Dorsey in the 9 and Mikey Neal in the 8. Brian Dorsey going to come up and shut the door. Mikey Neal's going to have to try to get by these guys very quick, because those fresh tires will not last forever. Definitely something you've got to do. You've got to get those passes made very quickly here. There it goes right there. Mikey Neal is going to get by Brian Dorsey to take third place, and he is on the move coming up to Jameer. We really want to see those two get together. Caution comes out once again, and it is going to be for the 77 of Justin Spear. Caution coming out here once again for the 77 of Justin Spear. Did he have any help? We will have to wait and see as we're watching the replay here for the replay camera. What happened between him and was it somebody else or all by himself? If he gets below that apron, it's going to be self-induced. He does get below it just a little bit here, and we just may not have a good camera angle as they go flying there. Let's go back and take another look at that from a different angle. Let's go up to the grandstand camera here as we're going to go back to the 77 and see exactly what happened. There were definitely some cars involved in front of him. Just not sure who they were at the time. As we're watching here, the smoke starts coming into play here in just a minute. As this happened further up, we'll see who all was involved, and maybe we can get a better picture, a better idea. Oh, there goes the 37, somehow saving it. Oh, nope, there it is. That was the reason. The 37 of Cole Day getting loose on the apron, coming up right into the 77. And that may end his day, as both of them are going to be probably sitting on pit road. They are indeed. That is definitely unfortunate here. We'll see 5 laps for everybody on the field, 13 for Jameer Muhammad. Will anybody come down pit road here? We are going to be watching this very closely here from our center field camera here. I don't think anybody's going to come down pit road here, as we will bring up our cautions. Again, it's been 5 cautions technically for about 16 laps or so. Currently, 12 laps to go. Will we see another caution, and will anybody come down pit road this time? I know if we have another caution, I don't think anybody will come down. Definitely going to be an interesting call here, to say the least. I know Jameer's got them older tires. Mikey Neal is set in a really, really good spot right now. In my opinion, he's going to be starting on the inside. I think he'll get by the 23 pretty quickly, as he's been very quick all night long. So he's set to get by the 23 of Ryan Hesgard pretty quick. We'll see if he can get by him. He may have a shot at Jameer Muhammad. Again, those two have been so dominant here. Both of them have led 20 and 30 laps between the two of them. So 24 for Mikey Neal, 32 for Jameer Muhammad. One of them will very well come out in victory, or somebody else could. We just don't know here. As we'll probably have about 9 laps to go when we get the green. Somebody's going to come away victorious tonight. Question is, who will it be? We'll check in with that here in just a minute. We are going to step away here for just a minute. We'll be back when the lights go off, so give us just a minute, and we are going to get hydrated, and we will be right back. All right, coming back a little early here. Looks like we do have Randy Post in the chat. Again, while we haven't chat, let's go ahead and bring it up here for the sponsors real quick on the the race side of things, Global Building Contractors, general sponsor here for the night's race. Leo's Coney Island, another general sponsor. And, of course, iRacing Drivers World here for the presenting sponsor for tonight's race. And on the broadcast side of things, we have Wool's Beard Co. Beard Balm for all your beard needs. Sim Speed Shop for all your custom button boxes and e-brake needs. Check them out at simspeedshop.com. Northwest Racing Series, your official one-to-go sponsor here for tonight's race. Ohio IndyCar League, your official IndyCar League here of VRN. And iBog, your official, I don't know what you call it, theme overlays sponsor here for VRN. And your post-race show tonight will be brought to you by Randy's Wraps. Check them out at Randy's Wraps on Facebook. Again, your post-race show will be brought to you by them. As the lights are off on the pace car, we are going racing this next time by with very, very few laps to go. We'll bring that up one more time here for you. It is currently 5 cautions. That says 4, but it's actually 5 for about 18 laps. Out of the 65 completed, 10 laps to go. Going to be 9 laps to go at the line. Will we see another caution? If we get one with 6 laps to go or more, we will go racing again. If it is 5 laps or less, we will not go racing. So we don't want to see a caution period. We definitely don't want to see one of the 5 to go or less. We'll be keeping a very, very close eye on that to see what happens here. If they can get it before they get to the 5 to go, we should have a 1-2 lap shootout. We'll be watching to see what happens. We want to thank everybody for tuning in, whether you're on the Facebook side of things tonight or on the YouTube side of things. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you hit the thumbs up regardless of where you are. If you like the racing, and definitely hit the subscribe and notify little bell to be notified of all upcoming events on YouTube, and just like the page over on Facebook and you'll be notified of that. Green flag's out, and Jameer Muhammad got a huge run there. I think he definitely knew he needed to do that if he wanted to make something happen. He definitely needed to get that jump, and he got it here. As Mikey Neal going to be right behind him, right behind Ryan Hesgard anyway. Hesgard in second place, and we'll see. We're going to go to our better camera here. As you can see the battle going on there. It looks like the 22 of Jeff Pogo is going to get a little out of shape. They're 4 wide back behind him. That will not last long. 9 laps to go. What's going to happen? Oh, contact between the 6 and the 22. The 22 somehow saves it of Jeff Pogo. And he gets hit again from the 91 and just clobbered once again. Not sure who that was. Caution is out. I believe that may have been the 75 of Bill Edwards, who had nowhere to go. Let's go back and take a look, and we will go racing again after this caution. What happened here? We're going to go to we'll go to our center field camera here. Again, there was a lot of beating banging going on before this. That is not officially what brought it out here. The 75 had nowhere to go here. Is there you see a contact between the 91 and the 22, and the 75 just nowhere to go. Hits the back of the 22. The 91 gets into it, and more contact going on. The 45 of Brian Jones going around as well. Just a ton of cars getting collected into that, as we have a ton of drivers on pit road here. Jeff Pogo is now done, out of the race. Justin Spear out, Alex Huffman out, Sam Crow and Spencer Tart out of the race here on lap number 68. The most important thing to remember here, folks, is we are going racing again here. We're going to keep that up for just a little bit. We had our 6 caution. I know it says 5, but it's actually 6. We had to reset the overlays there. We have 8 laps to go. Now 7 laps to go. We'll have about 5 to go when we take the green. We will go racing again. However, if a caution comes out after this one, this race will be over. There will not be another green flag run if we get another yellow. So that is a very crucial moment, but we will go racing again here in just a few moments. All right, to see Chad. Hopefully Chad doesn't get a little too rowdy there. Again, we try to keep it nice and family oriented out there. Right now, we're going to go ahead and look at your top 10 here. We're going to pull those down as soon as we get rid of the caution graph. We'll bring down your top 10 drivers here. As of lap 69 is what we're on right now. It is Jameer Muhammad, Ryan Hesgard, Mikey Neal, Brian Dorsey, and John Van Verellis are your top 5 drivers. In 6th through 10th right now is Roger Muth, Mike Rigney, James Morgan, Matthew Ellis, and Ray Moss. Those again are your top 10 drivers here as of this caution. The lights not going out this time. They will go out next time by, I'm sure. So we'll go ahead and get that out of the way and pull your caution graphic back up. There it is, 6 laps to go. It's going to be 5 at the line. So it looks like we may have a 4-lap shootout, actually, not a 5. So a 4-lap shootout here to finish off this race. Again, if a caution comes out, the race is over. We'll see what will end this race next. Will it be the checker flag or will it be the caution flag? Again, if the white flag comes out, we will not get a caution. Once the white flag does come out, no caution can end the race. So we're looking for the white flag or the yellow flag. One of those will end this race. All right, we're just keeping an eye on chat. We don't want it to get a little out of control or anything like that. So we are just checking that to keep an eye on it. Those pace car is still going around this track. We want to thank everybody for tuning in here for the broadcast, whether you're on the YouTube side of things or on the Facebook side of things. We do want to take a quick moment to throw this out there. That's for the VRN. Our own little ad that we don't ever get to advertise, really, is Virtual Racing Network is currently looking for a second or third team. If you're looking to get some broadcasting under this name, we are looking for some different teams to work together. And we are also looking for some second chairs. So if you are a commentator and want to make a few bucks, we are looking for a second chair. Some of our broadcasts are late, starting at 8:30 Pacific time and going till about midnight or so. So if you are able to stick around for the late night, we are looking for a second chair for Monday night and Wednesday night for that. And we are also looking for a second and third group of commentator and producers to jump on board here for VRN so we can pick up a few more broadcasts. But that being said, you can message us on the page. We are getting ready to go racing. Lights are off here. As we said earlier, it's going to be a 4-lap shootout here to the end of this race. Somebody will come away victorious. Who's it going to be? That is yet to be determined. Oh yeah, everyone's being pretty polite now. We just don't want it to get out of control. It could very easily, but I think everybody in here is nice and polite, so good job for everyone to keeping it civil out there. But the green flag is back out as we are racing once again. Jameer Muhammad out front, 4 laps to go. We'll see. Here goes the 8 of Mikey Neal to the inside. That's what I thought he needed to do. Can he get by the 23? The 23 of Ryan Hesgard is going to try to shut that door. Caution is out. This race is going to be over. And we're going to go back and take a look. It is a huge wreck as you have Mike Rigney going backwards on the track. And the 76 decides he wants to get into him again there. Oh, and the 75 gets into him again. Let's go back and take a look. All right, we'll see what happened. You're watching the 30 of Mike Rigney He definitely got involved in this, but I don't know if he started it or not. There's contact between the 87, the 12, and let's get into a better view here as it just went ugly from there. The 64 getting involved, the 76 getting involved. Just a huge wreck involving a ton of cars. And there the 75 gets to the 30. Just a total annihilation of a lot of cars back here in the back of this field. And that will unofficially give the win to the 14 of Jamir Muhammad. Ryan Hesgard will finish third, and Mikey Neal will finish in third place. I don't know if it had turned out that way had the caution not come out, but unfortunately the caution did, and that is going to end the race here, as we currently have 3 laps, going to be 2 at the line, as they're catching up to the pace car here. So this race has unofficially come to an end, as that unfortunately just happens that way sometimes. We just didn't get a chance to take it to the finish here, as we are going to step away here. Hopefully nobody's engine blows up or anything like that. Those will be your top 3. So we're going to step away real quick, and we will be right back here with your unofficial race results and the rest of your post-race show coming up here in just a few moments. Alright, we are on the last lap here, lap 75 of 75. Again, not the way anybody wanted to see this race end. I really think we could have had a really good battle here if those last 2 cautions hadn't come out. I think it may have been a different story. We'll see. It could have been a really close battle, to say the least, as you would have had that 14 car of Jamir Muhammad and that Jack Daniels machine putting up a good fight here between the 23 of Ryan Hesgard and his DuPont Chevrolet, and of course the 8 and that Budweiser machine of Mikey and Neal. Would have been a great battle between those. Brian Dorsey coming in 4th and Roger Myth coming in 5th. I think it would have been a really good battle to watch. But that's not the way it happened here, as the checkered flag is waving as they're coming out of turn 3. Coming into turn 4, we'll see if anybody blows the engine or anything like that. Could change it, but right now it looks like Jamir Muhammad will officially take the win. They are coming out of turn 4 right there, and they're going to come to the line. So again, assuming nothing happens major here, as Matthew Ellis being scored 7th, but he is not being scored on the track right now. So he may drop a few spots. We'll see if he does. Oops. There it is, back to live. Sorry about that. We were on replay. No wonder the checker flag had been out. We do apologize for that. A rookie mistake of our own. But there it is, watching the celebrations here for Jamir Muhammad. We're going to get there as he's going to put it in victory lane. So we'll go ahead and get to your unofficial race results. Coming away with the win is going to be the 14 of Jamir Muhammad. Second place will be the 23 of Ryan Hesgard. Third place will be the 8 of Mikey Neal. Fourth place will be the 9 of Brian Dorsey. And fifth place will be the 39 of Roger Muth. Sixth place will go to Ray Moss. Seventh place, Matthew Ellis. Eighth place, Cody Levitt. Ninth place, Scotty Zirk. And 10th place, John Van Verlis. 11th place will go to Dan Butler. 12th place will go to Justin Starr. 13th place, Tony Rice. 14th place, Mikey Neal. And 15th will go to James Morgan. 16th will go to Brian Jones. 17th, Charles Hoffman. 18th, William Edwards, or Bill Edwards. And 19th will go to Reese Milton. And 20th will go to Chris Brown. 21st will go to Jim Walking. 22nd will go to Cole Day. 23rd, Jeff Pogo. 24th, Justin Spear. 25th, Alex Huffman. 26th will go to Sam Crow. And 27th will go to Spencer Tart. That will do it here for your unofficial race results. We will be right back here in just a few moments with your post-race show presented by Randy's Wraps. And we will be back to talk to our top 3. All right, we are back, ladies and gentlemen, here with your post-race show. Again, post-race show is presented by Randy's Wraps. If you're looking for a nice paint job, head on over to Facebook and look up Randy's Wraps. We do have our top 3 drivers in here, starting with third place. As always, that is the 8 of Mikey Neal. You started first. Unfortunately, you finished third here tonight. You did lead 24 laps. And had an outstanding run. As we just hear you talking, you didn't want those cautions. Had we not had those cautions out there, you think you could have run down Jamir? I know you were right there with him all race.
I wish I said I could, but like I said, they were just cautions. I mean, you can't really predict an outcome. I mean, who knows? I could have been the one getting loose in 1 and 2 and spinning. And, if there weren't any, I mean, I think I definitely had the tires. All I needed to do was just get beside Ryan, who had a heck of a run. I know he started in the very back. He had a heck of a run to get up there to second. And, I knew I had to get around him. I knew he was on 2 tires. And I finally got beside him, and I knew this was my only chance. And obviously caution came out, so I didn't really get a chance. But other than that, I mean, the car was super good on the long runs. I had really, really good long run speed. I felt like I could keep up with Jamir really well. And, it was definitely really tough, though. It's definitely a little bit of a longer race. It's a 2-mile track, 75 laps, and you feel all 2 miles of it every single lap, and it's a very demanding track, but definitely really fun, though. Car was a little bit tight, but just got over that and kept driving it. And other than that, I felt like I had a really, really good car. Definitely had a top 3 car, and I think I finished where I needed to finish. And even though it's not a win, I mean, third place is definitely good enough.
Definitely a good points night here for you, so we'll see where that stacks you up later tonight. But we don't want to keep anyone here. Tomorrow is Monday, which means a school night and work night for a lot of us, unless you're me and you're just lazy. But that being said, We know you got some shout-outs and possible sponsors, so who would those be here for that third place finish tonight?
Oh, yeah, I got to thank Kay and Cole. Also got to thank you guys for broadcasting every race. Love having you guys here. Got to thank the main sponsor of this series, iRacing Drivers World. Also got to thank Global Building Contractors and Leo Coney Island. They're also sponsor of this league. I got to thank my mom and dad. I know they're both watching. Thank you guys for watching. Love you. I got to thank Lake Erie Entertainment and then Dan and Justin. Also, I want to give a shout out to those victims in Florence. Very tough times they're going through right now, and I was in it too, and it was definitely very tough. But keep Carolina strong and coming as one. Thank you guys.
All right. Well, again, congrats on third place. Finishing in second place for the first time in this series, and I think in the first time in this league, as he's fairly new here. I know it's the first time we've got to talk to you. That is the 23 of Ryan Hesgaard. You started 23rd due to an EOL penalty from last week's race, and here you are in second place. You gained 21 spots to get to second. First off, we saw quite a few cautions there. Once they started happening, they've definitely bred themselves. What was it like getting through this field with all those cautions and people beating and begging your way to the front?
Yeah, it was definitely hard fought coming through the field. Every time you try to make a pass, you got to alter your line a little bit so you don't get the run off and you just get passed back. So we had to do a little bit of a strategy, with our pit stops, and there towards the end, I was looking at our tire wear, and I took 2, and that moved me up 5 or 6 positions, so that definitely paid off. But yeah, coming through the field, that was tough. I definitely don't want to start in the back again.
Definitely, it's tough starting in the back. And we're getting poked here that you were the winner at Martinsville in the trucks. Definitely your first time here, so apparently we have talked to you. It's been a long time. We've done a lot of races with RACECORE, and glad that we have people to remind us of stuff, because we forget a lot of things around here. But for this particular series, this obviously is I believe the highest you finished. But overall, just a tough night with the cautions. Had we not had those cautions with the 2 tires, you think you could have got up there to Jameer and given him a run for his money, or was it going to be a fight to hang on to second with those 2 tires?
Well, anytime you're racing Jameer and Mikey, and it's a crapshoot because those guys are both extremely talented. I had the 2 tires versus Mikey's 4. If it would have went green, I think I could have got to Jameer's bumper. But passing him is a completely different story. You can kind of dive bomb and get side by side, but you don't have a run coming off. So I don't think I could have passed him, like as quickly as I would have liked. But I'd say it's 2020. The cautions are cautions, so that's what we deal with. So, I could have done a little bit better on like 2 of those restarts. Jameer got a pretty good jump on me, so I need to work on those, and hopefully we can keep competing for top 5s and for some wins in the future.
Definitely, I think we'll be looking to see a lot of great things from you. You're one of those that just kind of popped in here and all of a sudden started doing good, so you've got the skill. So I look to see more from you here. That being said, any sponsors you need to shout out to, or just anyone you want to give a shout out to that out there watching?
Yeah, I got to say hi to my mom. She's watching right now. I got to thank RACECORE again for allowing me to participate in their league. And I got to thank the sponsors of RACECORE, iRacing Drivers World Series, Leo Coney Island, Lake Erie Entertainment, Global Building Contractors. Without those guys, we wouldn't have a league, so big thank you to them. And I got to thank my teammates. I always end up on with the teammates. We play all sorts of different games, not just iRacing. So without them, we probably wouldn't even be racing. It would be having as much fun with it as I am. So big thank you to those guys.
All right. Well, again, congrats on the second place. Finishing in the first here, you started second Well, I would say you had a hard-fought battle getting yourself through the field. You definitely had a fight up there at the front between you and Mikey there. Y'all were definitely back and forth right there on each other's bumper, and you'd come into pit road, change spots, and then the other person would lead. But you did not have to fight your way through this field. You only had to gain one spot. You led 44 laps. Just an outstanding run, and you have a ton of fans out there in chat rooting you on. So how does it feel to get the win here tonight at this track? I know it was cut back 25 laps, so did that help you, or do you think you would have liked those extra laps?
I think I would have liked to go 100 laps around here. It was a lot of fun. I love California. It's a fast track. It's my first time here in K&N car. And I was not very good, during practice until like the last 10 minutes. I kind of figured something out, and definitely it was key to start up front. As Ryan said, it's tough to get through the field, and track position was definitely gold for me tonight.
Well, we saw coming in here, we had already kind of figured fuel would be around 23 or so laps, so 23 to 25, somewhere in there, but fuel was a little bit of a factor probably in tonight's race, especially in the early, not so much in the later half. But how important do you think tires were here? I know on that last run, everybody came down except you. So I'm wondering, were you fighting that car on them older tires, or were they not too bad? Because it obviously looked like you had a pretty fast car.
I was going to get screwed over, I think, if we didn't get all those cautions at the end. I definitely made a mistake by not hitting there. There were so many cars on the lead lap, and I figured like there was going to be a handful not pitting, and I just wanted to stay out front. Like I said, the track position was key, and I didn't want to get in the back there. And obviously there was a lot of accidents, so I probably could have got caught up with that. I figured there was going to be some 2 tires, and I didn't know how the car would run into tires, so I just all right, I'll just stay out and hope a handful stays out with me, and then we can race for it. And then everyone came down, and I was like, I was screwed. I thought I was over.
Well, we talk about it just about every week. You got to be lucky, but you got to be good too. You were good enough to get yourself to the front, and Lady Luck was on your side here tonight, giving you the cautions you needed to hang on to it. It was just about getting the restarts you needed, and just kind of hold them off. And that last caution came out and gave you the win. Obviously, it's never the way you want to get a win, but it may have been the way it had to be for you to get the win on those older tires. But in our book, a win is a win. So you did an outstanding job. You led 44 laps. So you led the most laps by 20 laps over Mikey Neal. But we don't want to keep you here too long and hang on to this. So that being said, we know you got some shout-outs and sponsors. So who would those be here for tonight's win?
Yeah, thanks, Charles. Just shout out for you for doing a great job on your own tonight. I'd like to thank Iracing, Drivers World, Global Building Contractors, Leo's Coney's Island, Lake Erie Entertainment. Shout out to my dad, my wife watching, and apparently the Jameer's fan club on YouTube. Shout out to you guys. Thanks for watching and cheering me on and not jinxing me.
Yeah, definitely. The Jeff and Jameer show has a better ring. The Charles and Jameer show just doesn't have that ring to it. But on the plus, it's on the plus side. You will get home, I guess you're already home. But you will get to do whatever else you have to do tonight a little bit earlier. So Jeff, if you're out there watching, sorry I didn't live up to your Grammy speech there. As we'll try to get him back here when we can. But regardless of his Grammy speech or not, congrats on the win here tonight. Before we sign off, we need to thank all of our partners as well here on the racing side of things. Once again, a big shout out to Global Building Contractors as a general sponsor here for tonight's race, and Leo's Coney Island out of Rochester Hills. And your presenting sponsor here for tonight's race in this series is iRacing Drivers World, as this is the RACECORE iRacing Drivers World Racing Series. On the broadcast side of things, a big shout out to all of our partners as well: Walls Beard Co., Sim Speed Shop, Northwest Racing Series, Ohio IndyCar League, iBog, and of course Randy's Wraps. that will do it here for the broadcast as we're going to wrap it up. So stay tuned tomorrow night for Monday night as we have the Northwest Xfinity Series coming up. We'll be back live on Facebook and YouTube, so stay tuned for that, and we'll see you there.